I'm on that white horse, I'm Hercules. I ball out like rage on Rondo. Get him drunk, then take
What's
him
going
to
on,
my
guys? Orkine with another video here for you guys today. You guys have missed a fair bit of content because one, the weather's been a bit shit, and I've had work and stuff, and the last couple of days it's been good, but because of work I haven't been able to do videos. But then the other day I went to go do the intercooler piping and stuff, because before, I don't know if you guys remember, it was going straight from the turbo straight into the intake manifold, and I wasn't happy with that, so I've put a whole intercooler system on there. But when I went to go record that, the GoPro was dead, because when the weather was shit, I had the GoPro on charge, and pretty much the whole time it was on charge, I was like, you know, well, it's now been on charge for 2 days, I don't want to go destroying the battery on it. So I took it off charge, but I must have left it on, so the day I went to go record, it was dead, and I was like, wow, you friggin' Fruit Loop. So now it's all good. I made sure last night that everything's gonna be okay. I got 2 days off, so I'm gonna try and pump out 2 videos for you guys. Like, we're gonna do a diagnostic on the Civic today, because mate was driving behind me, seen it was had some white smoke coming from the exhaust, and it's only on acceleration, I noticed. So I'm gonna see if it's the turbo or if it's the head gasket. Now, if it is the head gasket, there's gonna be some big plans, there's gonna be some big things happening. But if it's just the turbo, then I'll just be doing, you know, spark plugs, oil, and like your radiator and stuff, just checking out where, like, if there's any cross contamination and stuff, checking the oil and the radiator caps to see if there's any sludge or anything on them, checking the spark plugs to see if there's any white or anything discolors on them as well. So hopefully that can help diagnose it a little bit. If that doesn't show any signs, then I might have to go buy a compression test to see if the compression's good. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video, where we're going to be diagnosing the Civic to see if it's okay, if it's good. But I gotta show you guys. The sun's probably gonna be bad, so I'll face you this way. But jeez, the intercooler, oof, she looks sexy. She does. I don't know if you can see, but oh, she fits in so nicely. All the piping and stuff. I'll show you guys the rest of it a little bit later on in the video when I'm diagnosing it. So hopefully it yeah, it looks good. Alrighty guys, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so this is what I was saying to my mate, because he really thinks it's the head gasket, but on startup there's no white smoke. Like, there's a little bit. This is only cold start right now, but I'm gonna take it for a drive. Hopefully it warms it up a bit and see if that, like, that little mist right there gets worse, because that's only faint. Now if it was head gasket, it'd be thick, like it'd be real thick. So I'm gonna see if it continues after I go for a drive in it, and I've got to see if it's from the turbo or not, because once the turbo starts spooling, lubrication, it gets into the exhaust, it's going to blow a little bit of smoke, but it's not going to be huge. So this is why we're running a HOPA test. But when we put the accelerator on, which I can't do by myself right now to show you like how much comes out or whatever, like, that's why we got to do this test, to see what's going on. But yeah, so yeah. Alright, now that she's warmed up, I went for a little drive in her. White smoke is still there, but it's worse. So it is leaning more towards head gasket, but at the same time I've had to clock the turbo on a certain angle so we can fit the intercooler piping in. Oops, sorry guys. So we can fit the intercooler piping in and stuff, because I had to clock the turbo downwards, which means the oil drain is at the top, oil feed is at the bottom, so it's like it's struggling to push the oil through the thing. So I don't know if it's filling up inside and it's getting stuck, so it's got nowhere to go, and because it is an old turbo, it's leaking out oil, more oil than it should be, into the exhaust or air intake. So I might have to take the air intake off, see if there's any oil getting inside there, and I might have to take the turbo side off, the housing, and see if there's any oil in there, because then that will show me if we're getting oil into the exhaust from that. Now, that's the rest of the intercooler piping. We made it fit so neatly. It just looks good. I like it. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a test, because I'll see if I can show you guys just quickly if I can see at the back here. See, that's a lot of smoke. It shouldn't be like that. So it's time to start this progress, I guess. First 2 steps. One's gonna be seeing if she's spitting at me. See, not too sure if that's bubbles or not. But the other thing is, the cap doesn't have any white or milky substance on there. So, not too sure. Next one is going to be oil cap. It sounds like there's no oil in it. But there is, I know that for a fact. But there's no milky substance on that. So I'm gonna have to check the spark plugs now. If not, if there's still no signs, then I don't know. It's gonna be annoying. Hopefully the signs show up on the spark plugs, but I might have to go buy some spark plugs for it as well, just put new ones in as well. So this test here, gonna take off all the coil leads, or spark plug leads, whatever you want to call them, and take the spark plugs out. So she just goes pop. And there's no oil in there. I remember doing my mate's car, it's Integra, and that's not hot, thank God. So yeah, they can rest on there. And on the Integra, 3 out of the 4 were filled with oil, because the nice little seals in them, which, thank God, so far there's no oil. There we go, last one, still no oil, sweet as. So I'll remove the spark plugs. I don't know if my mate's already put new ones in, but he's not replying to messages, so I'm just going to do it anyway, check him anyway, and see how we go. And I'll show you the results of each spark plug. Alrighty, so all the spark plugs are out. This is spark plug number 1, which the top of it's white. Like not white, just kind of white. That's number 2, 3. They all look the same. Now, they look kind of newish, but I can't really tell too much because it's the outside, not the inside. It's new, so I've got a hope of new ones sitting here. I'm gonna install them. Doesn't matter what order, they just go in, and hopefully that's fine. This doesn't really help me with what I was testing, but at the same time, if it looks like that, people have said it's a head gasket, but at the same time, I've pulled out spark plugs from other cars and they've been white on top, you know, like that. So I'm going to try and clock the turbo, try and turn the center pit around, because I reckon there's a lot of oil, because there's oil coming out of here, like right in there, just a little smudge. So it's not heaps, it's a little bit, but that gets me curious. So I want to get to the bottom of this, but we might end up doing the head gasket anyway, because it's being really subtle about it. So I don't know. Talked to a few people, A few of them have said, like, you know, could be the turbo, could still be head gasket. So it's going to be process of elimination. If I clock the turbo, so the drain pipe, or the drain line is going down rather than up, this sounds a lot fucking better. And if it's still blowing a lot of white smoke, then I'm just going to have to do the head gasket anyway. There's no real way to tell unless I get compression test, or they didn't have the other one that I wanted, which was the dye test. But yeah, so I'll just have to wait and see. I might be able to get a dye test somewhere else. I might have to order one in because nowhere had in. So yeah, I don't really have the money to go get a compression test at the moment. I'm waiting for my pay in the next couple of days, so I'll be able to do that. But yeah, guys. Alright, all spark plugs are changed. I put new ones in anyway. I'm going to try and clock the turbo now, and if that doesn't work, then obviously it's going to be a head gasket, and that's going to be future videos and bigger plans. Haha. New cam gears and clear cam case. Yeah, sounds good. But other than that, next video will probably be on coilovers because they finally came in. Thank God. But yeah, because the weather, guys, it's been shit. So I haven't been able to make videos for you. But next video will be on coilovers. So yeah, Civic's getting a little bit of love still down here. Like, whilst we're doing some things, we can still do other things. It doesn't matter. Like, it's all gonna end up getting done anyway. So hell yeah, boy. But yeah. Alrighty, guys, so I've now removed the turbo, and as you can see, there is a lot, and I mean a lot of oil on there. Now, to me, that's straight up a sign. I'll just pour all out. Yeah, okay. I poured it on my shoe and everything. I got it everywhere, but there's a lot of oil on there, and that is a sign, because that's on the exhaust housing, right? So it's where the dump and everything is. Now that, to me, shows me signs that it's the turbo that's making all the smoke. So I'm going to try and reclock it, face it downwards, and hopefully that will change our outcome with the amount of smoke that's coming out of it, because all the other signs, there's no signs of head gasket. So to me, that's all turbo, and as soon as that heats up, that is straight in there. That is all oil inside the turbo housing. So, like, yeah, it's meant to have oil, but not to this extent. This is in ridiculous amount. So for me, I think this is actually a turbo issue. So I'm still might be wrong, but at the same time, I'm going to try and clock it, see how it goes. If it still blows a lot of fucking smoke, then okay, we're doing head gasket. But we're probably going to end up doing that at some stage, because I want to change the cam gears and do the clear cam cover, because who wouldn't want to do that? Sounds fun. And I'd prefer to put a new timing belt on it and stuff when we do it. So yeah, I'll get it clocked, get it installed back in, and we'll see where we go from there. Alrighty, guys. So we have got the turbo back on. We had to pull the two pins together to clock it. Kind of damaged the paint on the turbo a little bit, just a little bit, but that's okay. Maybe just a little smash me fingers like 20 plus times, but that's okay. Found out it's like a two-man job to do that thing. It's a pain in the ass. Ever have to clock a turbo? Call a friend. Alright, helpline. But other than that, started the car. A lot of the smoke's gone. I'll probably just start the car quickly now for you. Got the man's Toby's here. What's going on, my G?
What's going on, man?
He's also co-owner of this car. But as we can see now, it's now black smoke, which is more fuel than anything, and there's not anything coming out the exhaust. So turbo was the main smoky issue, which is what I thought it was going to be, because the turbo was leaking a lot of oil, and because the return line and the oil feed line were both sitting the wrong direction, which now the return is sitting, oh no, the feed line is sitting on top now, the return's on the bottom, so it's got a straight line going down. Everything's all good. Oh,
And whilst we were at it, we've also got the Intercooler sitting underneath. Oh, she's sexy as fuck. But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and keep tuned for more up and coming videos, because this is gonna be fun. Next is coilovers, my dudes. Like, gotta stick in tune for that. Alrighty.